One of the worst feelings in the world is heartbreak. Wouldn't you agree?
I would say it's like right above anxiety, but also like right under like depression.
Well, everyone's told me that heartbreak is awful. I can't relate. But the world has created a new type of relationship to avoid it called situationships.
Aren't those like basically friends with benefits kind of deals?
It's very different. Friends with benefits, you actually agree upon it. Situationships are when you're talking and being all intimate and doing all those like datey things, but you don't talk about it. Like, you don't sit down and say, we're this, we're that. Like, most of the time, there's never any labels and everyone's just left an emotional mess.
This is exactly why I just avoid talking to women, Robyn. Like, I'm indecisive and I get scared and too spooked to make a decision. So I just rather just exist and pretend that everything's fine, honestly.
You sound like the problem. You sound like the person who would be in a situationship. But don't worry, I know the secret to get out of any situationship.
First of all, I don't know what you're talking about. I've totally never been in that many situationships. But also, what do you mean secret? What do you mean by secret? Like what, like breaking things off?
You say it like it's hard.
Yeah, because it is.
Are you kidding? It's so easy. You just leave.
If it was so easy, then why isn't everyone else doing it? And also, what if you like really like the person too, you know?
You're telling me that you're liking people who don't like you back?
Baby.
And they aren't fictional?
Okay, whoa. Listen, I'm not one of the losers like you who hangs out with her body pillows.
Excuse me? Says you who's wasting their time with fleshies.
Oh yeah, says the one who also would fuck the robot from Fallout, Robo-fucker.
Whoa! Robots are going to be valid relationships. Give it 5 years.
I would imagine.
Honestly, They're already pretty much are. They're the only ones who don't see it as valid are the ones who are robo-racist.
Clankers, you mean? What if they say clankers?
No, they would say the word clankers. But clankers is the slur that you use against AI.
Oh,
so,
yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying.
If you see a robot in the street and it's being stupid, you'd be like, fucking clanker.
Well, you see, here's the thing, though, Robyn. I don't think that you could ever be in a situationship with a robot or AI even. Like, they will just glaze you the entire time. It's like, I don't want to talk to you anymore. They're like, oh, yeah, totally understandable. But I still like you. Honestly, now that I think about it, it'd probably make it worse.
I think once robots give themselves their own autonomy, there will be plenty of robots, like, dumping us.
Yeah, because we don't got, like, that energy that they're looking for, you know? We aren't able to provide that, like, soothing relaxation energy that they're looking for, considering that they're super high-stressed individuals doing all the math for us, doing all the work for us. But all I'm going to say is, when it comes to situationships, like, I feel like I put myself in a lot of them. I think I found that in my history of my relationships. I definitely have put myself through a lot of them. So I really am trying to figure out what is the best way to get out of one. Because I think I'm in a few of them right now that I think about it. So
my question is, are you the situationshipper or the situationshipee? Like, are you the one wanting to get out or you are the one trying to keep people out?
I think I'm the latter. I think like, I'm definitely the one who gets...
people who are into you, but you don't want to be with them.
Correct. I know, I'm very desirable, but I also get scared of talking to women, as I said. I don't understand human women, man. They scare me.
I've never seen that out of you. You, as the kiddos would say, you got that riz. You're welcome.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to be so real. I have zero game, okay? Just for transparency's sake. I have zero game, okay? I don't know how to riz women.
But I feel like, and this is me saying it as a woman, a man having zero game 9 out of 10 times is the most attractive thing. And like, I love a doofus of a man, as I have said before on the podcast.
I think that's maybe my problem. Maybe that's why I get put into so many situationships, because I guess there's too many women out there like you that are like, oh, wait, he's so cute and he's so like normal. And I'm like, I just want to be friends sometimes. You know what I mean? But I don't know how to say it.
Why don't you coward? Honestly, you were such a bitch for not saying that. A lot of times I will also say, I feel like as of my last relationship, I am in my hoe era, everyone, if you could not tell by my fucking personality. But I am single and officially in a hoe era compared to just being a weirdo in a relationship that still makes constant sex jokes. But I feel like I am also in your shoes right now, where a lot of people are ending in situationships with me, and I am sitting there like, oh yeah, I'm not really looking for anything serious. And they're like, well, I'm looking for something long term, but I'm down to just have fun. And I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna let you know, I'm just down to have fun. And then next thing you know, they're being like, well, so have you ever thought about what wedding dress you'd wear? And I'd be like, no.
If the minute that's like reason number one, I think maybe me am very stupid when it comes to relationships and putting myself in this situationships, you know what I mean? Is that like when like marriage or stuff comes up, I'm just like I'm not ready for that right now. I am not financially dependent.
You're not financially, well, okay, I guess you do have to be financially independent for that next step. But it's also sounding like you just can't commit. Like, you and I are the situation shipper, but for different reasons.
What's your reason?
My reason is because, and I used to be the person who was like, I date for marriage. Like, when I dated pretty much last year and earlier, if I was dating you, my plan was like, we are dating, we are preparing for marriage, buck up because I expect you to act like that now, and that's what it's gonna be like. And I have found that got me nowhere real quick. Like, I would get into these relationships really, really quickly, but it didn't mean shit. Like, just because you are officially boyfriend and girlfriend, that doesn't make everything perfectly magical and happy. And that's the one thing I would say to people out there with this situationship, that being in a relationship with this person might not be the answer. That you, like, it might be the answer you want, but it might not be the answer. And since I got out of my last relationship, I have just been generally playing the field and very straightforward of, I'm not really looking to date. I have been a serious dater forever. I am fully looking to be in my hoe era. But the issue is that I still have wifey personality, and I have like people trying to lock me down with that. And I notice it right away. I'm like, no, they're in lockdown mode. They're trying to grab me. I need to run.
That's like another one, actually. That's like, I'm the opposite of what you're experiencing. I low-key, okay, I wouldn't say I was ever in a hoe era. That's like, I don't think I've ever had like a slut man era, slut era.
It's because you're still in it, honey.
That's not let me explain myself, okay? I'm not ever in like a moment where I'm like, I want to fuck every flesh-bodied individual that comes across my path. For me, I've always just been like, yeah, let me just like get to know somebody and see what happens. And I've always just kind of been like that, where it's just like, let things roll and see how they go. But then 4 months later, we're still in that moment. And then I'm like, wait, does that mean I should be, we've been talking for a while. Like, should I do something? Like, do I have to like do a thing now? I'm just kind of vibing. And that's where it becomes my issue with the situationships. I'm just trying to coast on by because I really feel like at the end of the day, it is kind of hard to find the quote unquote perfect person. That is why I just kind of keep going and going and going and going. And then I'm like, yeah, something else better will come along. Sometimes it might, sometimes it doesn't. And then I just sit there in this position where I'm like, if there's something that does come along, do I just say goodbye? Like, I don't know how to say that in a way that isn't mean and hurting their feelings, because I'm also the kind of person that doesn't want to hurt the other person, right? I don't want to be that guy as well. So, which I had to be the villain once. Recently, actually, which I will talk about later. But I had to. This is where I had to officially end a situationship. This is what I mean by like, how do you escape it? Because I feel like there's only two ways to go about it.
Okay, tell your story, because I just need to know the drama now. Spill your tea. Spill your tea.
Oh boy, let's hope she's not listening. If she's listening, I'm so sorry.
I hope she's listening. I hope she is sitting here being like, oh my fucking God. Because you know what, too? If she is listening to this podcast to get that sensation of feeling close to you, This is something she needs to hear, and you should do it in the comfort of internet anonymity, just like every other normal person does.
It's not really anonymous if she knows who I am.
Yeah, but no one else knows the context.
That is fair. Okay, so yes, for context, right? This is a girl I met, of all places, fucking Facebook dating, which, by the way, kind of a goated ass dating app. I'm not gonna lie. Mark Zuckerberg, you be milking our data, because fucking Christ, I actually have a dating app where I get matches now, and like decent matches. Like I sent a screenshot to my friend. I sent a screenshot to FaZe, my boy, and I said, dude, look how many fucking messages I have that's full of this dating app. This doesn't feel right. And yes, that's how I met this individual. And
through Facebook dating, like you're a geriatric patient trying to cope.
Okay,
and
but
find,
it's
like his fellow senior living lover.
I really wish that I wasn't on there, but if the other dating apps weren't shit, maybe I would be on there instead. I don't want to have to pull out my wallet just to talk to people. Thank you very much.
That's fair. That is fair.
I don't mind pulling out my data. Sure.
I say as I pull out money to talk to robots.
Yeah, you say that. You pull out your ChatGPT, just, fucking subscription or character AI subscription so you can talk to your fucking fake virtual characters.
But you know what? They don't ghost me, so it's worth it.
That's even worse if they don't ghost you. I would prefer to be ghosted. Anyways, let me explain this plot, right? So,
okay.
In my situationship, basically what happened is that I met this girl. We were talking. We were hitting it off pretty well. And she ticked a lot of boxes. I will be real with you. She ticked a lot of boxes for like what I look for in a partner. So I was like, hey, there's a lot of good stuff here.
Big tits, big ass, no personality.
Well, minus the no personality part, everything else is pretty on par. No.
Okay.
But when it came to the boxes that she ticked and the surface, I was like, ooh, excitement. But then as time went on, a lot of X's started forming. And I was just like, ooh, I don't know how I feel about this anymore. I think this maybe isn't the right option for me. But I'm still going to talk because, right now, I want to just let things play out. Right. And also, not gonna lie, I kind of liked having an individual that wasn't involved at all in the YouTube space to just talk to. Because, when you're just in this space, you just kind of surround yourself with too many people that are like this. So then I kind of forget that real people exist. So I end up just like, learning a way to speak to someone that isn't like always around the space I'm in. So it felt refreshing. Right. But over the time, I could tell, and she was very clear that she wanted something long term. And worst part is that I would be open to it if she wasn't in fucking Ohio.
Oh!
Which is another whole can of worms. I don't understand why the fuck, like, my Facebook dating app matched me with someone in Ohio, but whatever. But anyways, the whole point is that she was definitely heavily interested in me. And she made it very clear. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I've had a girl like me this much. Like, not like in an unhealthy way, but definitely in like a, wow, she's giving me attention that I never really get way. And that's the problem with me, is that when I get women attention, I just like get stuck to it. And I'm like, it's not like in a weird incel way. It's more like finally someone recognizes me for who I am. I could finally just talk to somebody and be normal. So it felt normal. And that's when I realized, man, this might not work out because I don't feel the same exact way about her.
Yep.
That's where the fear came in. So this is when I realized that big boy Medz had to come out, because I realized that I can't make the same mistakes like I've done before. Okay, I'm a changed alien. I can't be the same bitch ass bitch that stays in conversation with somebody hoping that things will kind of fizzle out. I need to give this lady, the woman, a hardcore answer. But my God, it's so hard for me to do it. It took me weeks to muster up that courage. But when I finally did, I just said, if you are the one that wants to go on a relationship with me, I say, and I'm kind of just coasting by, we should take a 2-week break and see how you feel. And you can come back to me when you feel ready. If you still want to talk to me. If you want to ghost me, you ghost me, is what I told her. And that's where it is now. It's currently, that's where it's at. Oh,
you are still within this period.
It has literally been not less than a week. I think almost exactly a week now. So it is currently halfway through the grace period.
Honestly, that is not a terrible idea, because I feel like there are a lot of times where I'm like talking to someone and I'm like, well, am I talking to them because of the adrenaline I got going in my system? Ooh, new shiny thing. I want to hyper focus on this. Or is it like can I actually see myself hanging out with them long term? Like, can I hold a conversation with them, this, that, and everything? And for me, where my problem is I always get too logical. I feel like a lot of love nowadays is like ooey gooey fun sparkles and all that stuff, which I think is great when you're like in the early stages of dating. But then once the topic of marriage comes up, my brain slips into businesswoman lawyer mode. And I'm like, okay, so I need to know what your retirement plan is. I need to know how much you have in savings. What is your credit score? Do you have a Roth IRA? If you do not, you need to start said Roth IRA. How much do you plan on investing? What is your salary? What are your life goals? What are we going to do when I have a child? Are we going to yeet it or are we going to keep it? Like,
I thought we were going to delete it.
What is the plan here?
Sorry,
yeet.
I know. I just thought
Yeet.
delete. Anyways, yes, I get your
Shut
point.
the fuck up. Control
I get the
Alt delete
point.
that fucking baby. And it's just like, and I do think having that time apart is important because, especially for me, there are just times where I just need solo time. And I do not want to be with someone who can't give me said solo time.
That is literally the same reason she gave me, was like, if you're not able to give me solo time or give me time to spend time with you and make me your priority, therefore I don't know if this is going to work. And that's where,
you know what?
It makes it even worse.
Honestly, my biggest hot take, and I say this to any person I am talking to in like a romantic quote unquote sense, is I am never your first priority. If I am your first priority, there is a fucking problem. I want to be up there, but I want to see that you have values and aspirations outside of me. My mentality is work should always be above me. That is one where it's like, you need to get a job, you need to pay the bills. If you are putting me above that, I see financial debt on the horizon, and that immediately scares me. And then a second thing, family, I would say, is hit or miss. I think it depends on the family, and I think it depends on the relationship. I have dated a lot of family-oriented people, so a lot of times I say, no, they're first. And I think a lot of friends should also be first, especially if they've known them for a really long time. I sit there and be like, no, you're close friends. You need to maintain that relationship. You need to have your hobbies. You need to be a full human being outside of me. I will see you when I see you. And it's like, my mentality is like, the beauty of it is like, the ideal is just being able to come home and have like what I think of as a charger port relationship. You go off, you do your own thing in the world, but at the end of the day, you come home and at night you gotta plug yourself on the charger, which may or may not be a warm, fleshy woman or man, or non-binary.
Or multiple.
Honestly, polyamory is very misunderstood and very underutilized. I personally do identify as polyamorous, but have not been in a polyamorous relationship because I think most people are into the idea of monogamy, which I totally get. And I can be monogamous, but in my heart of heart, I sit there and be like, but what if I had girlfriend and boyfriend, and girlfriend and boyfriend loved each other? And we all loved each other together. Like, my ideal relationship would be like a closed, like, couple triangle where we all loved each other and we all did different things, like a little love commune.
So hold on, I gotta think about this. Could a threesome be considered a situationship? If you're in a position where you guys are like, do we like each other? I don't know if we should have the label, guys, but we kind of do be fucking around with the three of us. Like, man, what if we had more people? Could we just make that an orgy? Would that cancel out the situationship problem here?
I think it ultimately depends on why you're doing it, because I think threesomes brings an extra tier into it where it's like, okay, is this a fetish thing? Or is this like a romantic thing? Because I think that is the thing at the point at now. The Orange Black Hub has now created this, and I would say Tinder too. Tinder and a lot of dating apps have created this strong divide between romance and sexuality. And as someone who likes kink and stuff like that, there are just a lot of times where I sit there, I'm like, okay, are we in this for that freaky ass shit? Or are we freaky as fuck, but we want to do it permanently for the rest of our lives?
I think that's the problem though, Robyn. And I think this is why there's so many situationships, is that like nobody in this world right now knows what the fuck is going on. So they just be like, I'm just gonna like not think about this right now and just do whatever is doing well right now. I like doing the dirty with this person. I'm gonna keep it that way. And then they don't set any guidelines or boundaries for it.
That is where I am at right now, where I have my people where I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm enjoying this fun. I'll call you up when I need you, but I'm gonna be busy most of the time. You know me, hee hee ha ha. And I keep around the people who understand, and I toss away the people that don't. And I've also found a lot of people very pushy about it, where I'm like, hey, I do this, I do that. My schedule's constantly busy, but if you make it worth my time, I'll fit you in. So many people get hurt about that. But above all, my mentality is that side of my life is more of like an additional hobby than anything. And when I'm in that like hoe era state, or we're in like that friends with benefits situationship era of the dynamic, I sit there and I'm like, well, there's no need to set like crazy ass boundaries. That is something that is more so for relationships. And there's like one guy where it's creeping towards that, and I sit there and I'm like, oh my god, but he has debt with Easy Pass, and he's in like $5,000 of credit card debt.
What
and
debt
I'm
with
like,
Easy Pass?
Debt with
Bro wants to get all those tolls.
According to him, it's very difficult to navigate that website and pay it back. I have never tried, but he is not my problem, so I'm not going to ask him. But the moment he starts thinking about upgrading it, I am going to roll out a list of boundaries as long as a fucking red carpet. Because,
you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to give you some hot take right now.
Give me your hot take.
I think you should just tell him now before anything else, right? Because you should see how he at least reacts, right? Before you drop a fucking to-do list on his ass and he's just like, what the fuck is this? It's like when you're about to sign up for a service that you think is really good at the surface level, but then they roll out the long-ass terms and conditions, and it's like, what the fuck is this, bro? Holy fuck, I didn't sign up for this shit.
Honestly, I disagree, because if he's not looking to upgrade, I'm not going to hit him with the terms and conditions. If he's enjoying the free trial, I'm not going to give him anything.
But that's not the full trial, though. You're only giving them what's good. If you're going to give him a trial, you also got to show him what he would sign up for, you know?
No, that's what you would do if we were dating and we were pursuing that. My mentality is, I'm not looking for that. I'm sitting here like, I am happy where we are right now. And if you want the upgrade, I got the terms and conditions. So as long as that person keeps saying that they are cool with this free trial version, I'm not going to be one of those websites that pushes you to get premium. I've done that in the past. It gets you fucking nowhere. Ladies, I'm going to tell you, it gets you fucking nowhere pushing the premium subscription. The people who want to buy it will buy it, and the people who don't.
See, this is I think where, because I think you're clearly in an interesting situationship. And that's what I've also noticed as well, is that like, when I put myself in these positions where I'm talking to somebody, my issue comes with is that like, I feel like I need to kind of lay my balls out bare and naked. I need to make sure they know 100% what I'm about. Otherwise, it's going to become problems, because every relationship I've had or has ended or have had some issue with is because I didn't lay out my full ass like terms and conditions before we started talking, because it really depends on the person too.
I did.
It depends. Depends.
I did. I sat there and said, I am in my hoe era. I am just looking for fun. And I was straight up about it. And I said, hey, could date, but I have high standards. But for now, I'm just looking for fun. That my mentality is that it is a bridge to cross when we cross. And I don't think every 30 seconds I need to remind this person of, did you change the fire alarm battery? Did you pay your Easy Pass debt? Did you clip your toenail? Like, that's not my problem.
Okay, that's fair. That is fair. That is valid.
My mentality is, honestly, as a girlfriend, that shouldn't even be my problem. If I'm dating someone, I want someone who can get their shit together like that. And above all, I don't want to nag people if they have those red flags, because I want to see if maybe they're like, actually, you know what? I should be the best version of myself for this person, and I should go through navigating the Easy Pass website so she doesn't have to worry about the Easy Pass debt coming to haunt her when collections hits. I will clip my toenails because I don't want to accidentally scratch her in bed. I will remember her coffee order because I know she will be very bummed if I don't remember it. That was English. I spoke English, everyone. But it's like, I want to give someone the opportunity to do that on their own, because if someone can be self-sufficient like that, that is the most attractive thing to me. I don't want to have to tell you shit. I want you to run off in the world and do your own thing, and I just watch it all happen.
You know what? Honestly, now that I think about it, like, I think the Indians were onto something when it comes to arranged marriages. Like, I'm not kidding you, by the way. Like, I swear, like, when the reason we get into situationships is because we're super picky. Because I know I'm picky, okay? Like, and I'm also just like, I get so tired, man. I get so tired of the searching, the talking. Like, it gets so, like, it takes forever. And, like, I'm wondering if this will work out or not. Like, it's just like, if having someone in my family just be like, you are now going to be married to this girl of this family, of this age and this descent, and you shall now be married happily ever after. And then I get to decide, okay, that's my life now. It's just like, I just spawn in with a random woman, and we got to make it work. You know, maybe that's what we got to start doing.
Spawn camping love. But I think I agree. I think, and I'm going to be straight up, I would not want my parents to arrange a marriage for me, because I have seen who they have picked out, and those people are the complete opposite of what I look for in a person. And it's not even in the sense of, I want a bad boy, and my parents want me to be with a good boy. My parents want me to date fucking racists. That's what my parents want. My parents want me to be with a white racist man, and that has a lot of money, and will just keep having a lot of money and keep treating me like shit. And that is not what I am about at all. I will not say I have a good type, but I think for me, I would want, like, an arranged marriage through, like, a matchmaker, or go on, like, one of those reality TV shows, like The Perfect Match, or Love at First Sight, or Marriage at First Sight, I think it is. Where it's like, you just get paired up with someone and you get married and you figure it out from there, but there's no parental involvement. Because I think a lot of people don't like that idea because of the idea of parental involvement.
Yeah, and I think here's the thing. I think the other issue is, like, I think people, at least some people, have a very, like, romanticized version of how they meet their partner. So it's like, I'm sure there's someone out there that gets put in these situations where they're like, they meet somebody on a dating app, but they're like, ooh, but I don't know if I can date you. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's just like,
yeah,
there's like nothing there. You know, it's like we met on a fucking app. Like, I don't know. Like, I'll tell you right now, like, I've had like a crazy, like, I would say hella fucking rom-com kind of interaction with somebody. I just wish they would talk to me more, because I think they're cool. But, you know, I can't force it, obviously. Yeah. That's my situationship. Yeah. But, like, there's like a lot of issues I've had with these women, I swear. They always just hate me, man. But, like, I literally met them on a bus from New York City on a Port Authority. And we just became really, we hung out. We got off the bus. I gave her my number. And then we went out on one date, but then I had to go back home because I met her in New Jersey. So I had to go back to Florida.
That is, like, so cute, though. And I can't say, like, no, actually, I don't think I've ever had that. I am not the type of person where I get numbers out in public. this is gonna sound like so fucked up, but I am often put in a Jesse's girl situation where I will be like dating someone or seeing someone and one of their close friends will be into me. And that is the closest thing I get to like a meet cute is like a guy trying to steal me from their close friend. And I'm sitting there like, okay, like, yes, this would be something that you see in like a romantic movie, but this is not what I want.
Oh boy, that's the worst. When you're trying to date someone in a friend group, that is like kind of the worst situationship you could be in, because it's not just your emotions that are involved, it's like multiple other people's. Like if something happens, like that's why I think like especially like if you're dating within a friend group, it's like a fucking risky business. It's like the other issue is like with most things that happen is like I feel like this is why most people can't escape it, is because it's like they also don't know how to deal with their own emotions, and therefore they throw themselves into another person's emotions, and it becomes a fucking whirlwind tornado of bullshit things that can happen. And if other people are involved, like a friend group, they're thrown in the middle of it, whether they like it or not, like in a weird, horrible way. Like sometimes there'll be moments where they'll maybe stay out of it, but like they feel somewhat partially involved, right? Because, you know, I've definitely had it where I had friends dating each other, and then it becomes an issue where, well, if they're dating each other and there's something bad happening, well, now you feel like a bad friend if you're not going to do something about it.
Yeah, it's definitely like very tough, very awkward situations when you like friends and stuff like that, and it's just like I always feel bad for those people because there's no good way about it, and especially like if you exit those relationships, those are always a crapshoot. I live with a mentality that you can be friends with your exes. I am friends with my exes. But I got out of a relationship where we were like really good friends, and we were good friends when we got into the relationship, and when we were in the relationship, we were still just sort of good friends. And like after a while, I drew the line in the sand of, this is great. This is a great friendship, but I can't say that this was a relationship. I want to still be friends, but like I need like an actual genuine relationship. And the person I was with totally broke down with that idea and was like, of course we can't be friends. Because this was why, and that is the one thing I don't get too. It is a very guy thing where they are only emotionally, like they're only emotionally vulnerable to women if they're dating. Like they can't be emotionally vulnerable to a woman friend to friend, if that makes sense.
I could
At
see
least
that.
that's my experience, because every guy I have been with, except like some of the most recent ones where it's like they're still in that trial period yet, they have cried on me. Men seem to get very, very emotional around me.
You give mommy energy, okay? It's just the mommy energy. They see you, they're just like, mommy, please, I need to get my emotions out. Mommy.
It really is. It is that. And then also a lot of them fall asleep on me. I think I do give mommy energy, but not like mommy dom energy. Like, mommy, I need my little nap time. Give me booby.
that is both the most concerning, but also I guess interesting way to be in a sort of relationship with somebody. I don't know how I would deal with that if I was considered the mommy energy, the void that they lost with their actual mother that you're filling. I'm like, oh, interesting.
Oh, and I immediately know if it is that too, because when I meet their moms, it all connects. And if I do, especially when I was younger, like, I had, like, a very young face before all the Gen Z stress hit me. And I would often look a lot younger than I was. And I knew immediately whether a guy was into me because I reminded him of his mother, or if I reminded him of a child the moment I met their mother. If his mother and I were exactly the same, I was like, oh, okay, you're into me because I remind you of your mom. A little Sigmund Freud, but at least you're on the safe side. And if I was not like the mother, we had questions. We were doing a full Chris Hansen level investigation, figuring out whether I should really worry about your dating behavior or not. I feel like that is the toughest part that I'm going through with dating right now, is I'm sitting here like, well, are you into me because you like me as a person? Or are you into me because of the role I fulfill for you?
And I think that's always going to be the issue at the end of the day, and why so many situationships feel like a fucking hellscape is because it's all sometimes just a guessing game, I feel like, when it comes to how do you feel about their emotions, because no one really wants to confront the problem. It's like the bystander effect. It's like one of you will assume that you will take responsibility, but then no one ends up taking responsibility to bring it up. And it just becomes an awkward topic. So you just ignore it and be like, that's tomorrow's problem. I'm going to just enjoy getting pounded by your ass and move on. And that's like the other issue I have as well, is like, I've had relationships where it was like kind of like, you know, intimate, but then also friendly, but then also kind of datey, like, and again, no label. And then I'm like, I think I should probably put some kibosh on this. So I'd be like, well, just letting you know, I only want to be friends with what we got, right? And they're like, okay. But my old big fear is that they truly are just saying okay because they just don't want to actually say no, that this is not what they want. And they would rather not ruin what they have. They would rather just maybe either hope that things will change and that I will all of a sudden fall in love with them, or that they're going to try to attract me and bring me in, reel me in somehow. And that's the worst ones, because then I'm sitting there living a fucking guessing game of, do they actually like agree with my like quote unquote line in the sand, or are they just trying slowly to kind of get into my head?
Yeah, there will always, but I also feel like that happens a lot too, where people wait in the wings. I haven't had it in that sense, at least not yet. I have a feeling that those will be bridges that I am crossing soon. But like I said earlier, the bridges that I have crossed were I was dating someone and someone liked me while I was in a relationship, and I sat there being like, well, I would date you if I wasn't fully in a relationship right now. And they would be like, oh, okay, let's be friends. Inevitably waiting in the wings, the moment we break up, they swoop in. I will always say respect to the ones that waited and didn't poke and prod before then. But I've also had people fully poke and prod beforehand. And at one point, I was in a relationship with a guy. And he had this buddy. I wonder if I talked about him on the podcast yet. But if not, I will tell the story again. His name was Craig, and he was a crackhead. Craig the crackhead. Craig the construction crackhead. He was insane, but he quickly became the best friend of the person I was dating at the time. And he would say things to my boyfriend at the time of like, oh my gosh, your girl is so funny, your girl is so hot, you always get the hottest, coolest girls. And I'm sitting here like the anime fucking weeb dork with big giant titties that I was, and I was like, okay, yeah, sure. And
that
then
you were, you still are, you mean?
And shut up. But I, at one point, it started getting like a little bit weirder. At one point, him and I exchanged numbers just in case something bad happened to my partner. I was like, oh, I'd like to have a point of contact, and I know you would too. But then things started to get weirder, where he like asked my partner like, oh, well, have you ever like thought about threesomes, or have you ever thought about people watching you while you do it? And it's like, oh, ha, 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 you're so funny, Craig the crackhead. You're such a little crackhead. And then it started getting to the point, like, him and I were, like, texting, and he would, like, ask about the relationship, and he'd be like, I'm so glad you make my friend happy. You seem so awesome. I hope to find someone like you one day. And I was like, okay, yeah.
That sounds a lot like he's projecting what he truly feels onto you. But not really.
Oh, just wait. One time, he is away at it, like, a construction site, one of the jobs where, like, he was, like, staying at a hotel overnight. And Craig the crackhead got fucking lit. Got fucking drunk as fuck. Who does he call? A woman several states away that can't do anything for him. Like, he's like across the country levels of I can't do shit for you. And he's just sitting there drunkenly asking me to somehow take care of him. And I'm just on the phone like, there, Craig the crackhead. If you need to throw up, throw up. Drink lots of water. I believe in you. You could get, like, just motivational speeching him out of this drunken state. And he's like, I just really, really like you. You're so great. And I'm like, okay. And then the text started getting heavier to the point where he was like, have you ever thought about dumping my best friend? I will take care of you. I want to be with you. And I'm like, okay, Craig the crackhead, you don't have $2 to your name. How the fuck are you going to take care of me? And that's where practical thinking comes in. With crack. Well, the issue is that I think I would respect it if he was the crack dealer. He was the crack dealee. He was spending the money on crack. I would date a drug dealer.
You know what you should have done? You should have just gone straight over to him and said, listen, I will only do it under one condition. Become the crack dealer. Build a business empire. True. Maybe then my business degree brain would consider it. And you know what? If he really liked you, he probably would.
Yeah, if a man truly liked me, he would start dealing hard drugs. He would start dealing hard drugs to prove his love to me. Because that's the thing for me, is that, like, when it's the fun time, I can totally toss away the idea of practicality. But, like, especially, like, as a person that can pop out a child and is automatically responsible for it in the eyes of the law 90% of the time, I have to be careful what I'm putting inside me. And
just be careful, Don't put any cucumbers or bananas in there.
Only flared bases. But it's like, it's something that I have to think about is if something goes wrong, 1, yeeticus feticus. 2, above all, I need to know what the finances are going to be like. And especially, like, if I hear a guy telling me he wants kids, I am already scrutinizing his finances. If he says he doesn't want kids, I don't give a shit. But the moment he says he wants kids, then I start sitting there being like, but could you afford one? Could you take care of one? Because I'll pop the motherfucker out, but I don't want one.
Unless you can contribute financially, emotionally, and physically.
Exactly. But I am also constantly in situations where I will be talking to a guy where they're like, oh no, I don't want kids. That's never going to be for me. The moment I can, I'm going to be getting a vasectomy. Or like now they have the new male birth control pill. They're like, I'm going to go on that. And then I talk to them for like a few months and they're like, well, I don't want kids. But one day if I change my mind, and I'm like sitting there like,
that means you want
the
kids.
Fucking mommy energy worked again.
You did it. You changed the man.
I think my issue is, that's the issue. I'm sitting there like, I do not want children. And I am making men who don't want children. And I think it's simply because I am responsible. And I think if anyone is in a situationship and they're really fucking looking to get out of it, I want to say 7 out of 10 times you can simply get out of it by being a responsible person. Not just a responsible person with the person you're talking to, but being a responsible person in general. Like, if you have credit card debt, start paying it off. Start chipping away and coming up with a plan to get rid of it. If you're struggling to find a job, take any job and then work towards finding your next job after that. If you're going through school and thinking about dropping out, decide whether it's financially for you to stick around and then go with that course of action from there, because I think universally amongst people, but I would say universally amongst women especially, a man with a course of action is attractive. Whether it's as small as trying to get a promotion at work or paying off that $500 credit card bill, or whether it is as big as overthrowing the government. Responsibility will always be the sexiest thing ever.
And if they're trying to throw over the government, you're getting in early.
Dude, this is my issue too. I keep falling in love with communists because they talk about overthrowing the government.
Never thought I would have that problem.
in college, there was this one guy who was in one of my art classes, extreme socialist, and he was a part of the Socialist Society. I think he was a straight up communist, though, my mentality. And at one point, we were having like protests for a lot of the programs that they were like getting rid of and restructuring. And he was like just going on this mantra speech forever. I think half of the people in that room fell asleep. I was sitting there a little horny, hearing this man go on and on and on about how this microcosm society of our college campus was broken and shattered by the decisions that the upper board was making. And I was just sitting there like, oh yeah, I keep using those fucking big words.
I'm so scared about how you feel with Bernie Sanders now.
No, because an older man, I am recovering. But I have been a big older man hater for a while. I used to refuse to date anyone who was a millisecond older than me. Either you had to be born at the same exact time I was, or be younger than me. I could not trust anyone older than me. Now that I'm in my hoe era, I don't care. But I also will not hesitate to call a man out, because I find older men do it in particular, but I'm sure older women do it too. They just never give me a chance. But older men will use their age all the time. I could be talking to a man who is older than me and has less education than me, and we could be explaining why the sky is blue, and I'm sitting there like, oh, it's because of the way the light reflects off of the molecules. And they'll be saying like, well, you're stupid. I'm the older one, so I'm the smarter one. And I'm sitting there like, are you fucking stupid? And I may or may not have an issue with authority. So, yeah. I also have a great father figure, so I don't need a fucking another one, especially one that's shit.
Yeah, I'm like opposite. I do like older women, but not like older women.
I like older women.
Like, oh, yeah, it's a different situation because, you like the poly stuff.
Because I do have mommy issues.
You also have mommy issues.
I don't have daddy issues. I have mommy issues.
I don't have mommy issues, I'll tell you that, thankfully.
But
God bless
I
our
would
mamas.
be like, I would be that person clicking there are women 40 years and older in your area that want to fuck you.
Oh, yeah, you want those cougar energy.
I do. I know that they don't want me, but
I
am very, very into MILFs. Very into MILFs.
Well, I will say I'm not into MILFs. I just prefer women that are older because I feel like it's just a safer bet. You know what I mean? It's a safer bet for me.
The responsibility. I'm telling you. Anyone wants a relationship, just be responsible. That is the hack. Because I think we could all talk about this romance, getting flowers, getting this shit like that. But the ultimate romantic gesture you could have is being responsible. I can't tell you the amount of times people I have like gone on a date with have raved about the fact that I showed up on time. Like, what are you fuckers doing out in the dating scene fucking coming 2 hours late?
I really think that, not gonna lie, the reason all these situationships spawn, and it's such an epidemic, I guess, at this point, is because no one feels at all responsible. I feel like no one is ready to handle that responsibility, or themselves. Their excuse is like, I can barely be responsible for myself. How am I gonna be responsible for a relationship? Adoy. And I mean, I think it's mostly because of just the world we live in at this moment in time. Like, you say get a job, but Miss Career Woman, I think right now for a lot of people, it's easier said than done.
Oh, okay. I will say it is easier said than done, but my mentality is
at least try.
Take anything. Because at least for me, the biggest turnoff I hear is when a guy, like, is out of work, and it's almost always a guy thing. And I think there's actual statistics showing that it is more so a guy thing than a woman thing. But my biggest turnoff is when I hear someone say, oh, you see, I'd take that job, but it's a little bit beneath me. And they've been, like, out of a job for 6 months or more. No, I'm sorry. Shut the fuck up. You're going to work at McDonald's because I'm not going to sit here and watch you lounge around all day while I am working. Either learn how to clean the fucking house and be like a house partner, or get a job. Because I will say, being a house partner, whether it's a house husband, housewife, or in between, that is real work, and I do respect that. Because you might not be bringing in an income, but you are saving an income. You are saving us in expenses, which is just as valuable. But what I do not respect is people who are like, oh yeah, I want to be a house partner. And then they just sit at home playing video games or watching TV and not actually taking care of the responsibilities.
I actually like that perspective of saving expenses more than anything else. That is such a smart way to look at it. I never thought of it that way.
Because you think about it, you're saving money on a maid, you're saving money on takeout, you're saving money on grocery shopping, especially if they're into couponing, because if you are at home, and especially if you have a small home, there is a possibility that you can pick up couponing as a hobby and save extra money on top of that. If you have children, you're saving so much on childcare. And it's like, someone doesn't have to do it, but it's like, that, in my mentality, that is my ideal relationship, because I am such a chaotic person at home. I will, like, start cooking and not finish halfway through. I'll start doing the dishes and not finish halfway through. My space will be clean for, like, a week out of the month, and then the rest of it is, like, complete chaos because I just can't keep up with it. I would love nothing more than to have a partner who stays at home and takes care of these responsibilities for me, and I just come home from work and enjoy it. And I'm telling you, that person would get the fucking best head of their life. The rest of the night would be dedicated to just pleasuring them as sexual or non-sexual as they would like.
Well, if it's mommy energy, they just want you to, they're going to cry in your arms and just lay their head on you.
They could lay in my titties all day. We could put on Bluey or any other show that they would like that fits their desire. But my mentality is, you either have to contribute with labor or money. Because as much as I want to be a sappy romantic person, I just can't be. I have to be practical. I have not had dick or pussy good enough to make me look past credit card debt, irresponsibility, and a lack of foresight. There's no sex that good.
What I think we've learned today is the only way of escaping a situationship is to make yourself not susceptible to a situationship. Be responsible.
To not be a fucking irresponsible freak. Show up on times to your dates. If you're not into someone, just say it. Be a member of your community. Volunteer. Get a job. Show that you are not a chronically online person with Cheeto dust fingers who acts like the world owes everything to you.
And just be honest.
Be honest. Be responsible. Be humble.
And one day, it'll all pay off. Because as we said, life is pain. And you can hate yourself all you want, but don't make other people hate you.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd say that's a pretty productive conversation. Hopefully you guys learned something about love, life, and lap dances from Robyn. So
honestly, I think we need an advice column now. I think next episode, if we get enough likes on this, maybe let's do like a call-in where people like give us their relationship issues and we just solve them.
Out of the 20 people watching this episode, please leave your phone numbers in the comments. We'll reach out to you live on air and answer your questions. Maybe one day we'll have to do a stream.
Google form. We will make a Google form. If there are enough, if we reach 10 comments of people requesting relationship advice from us, I will make a Google form so that you can privately give us your information and we will fucking pull you on the show like the talking gecko. And we will give you relationship advice.
We are going to be the therapy gecko. Oh, fuck yes. We're going to be the
therapy gecko.
Lyle, you were coming after your brand, dude. You got nothing against us.
No, why should we come after him when one day we could collab?
One day we'll get Benny Blanco on here. We'll get Benny Blanco on this and they can talk about their love with Selena Gomez.
Oh my god, honestly,
One day, maybe we'll even get baby no money. Who knows? One day, it's on the list.
Okay, we're gonna get that, but he's gonna.
It's
be
on the
mine.
wish
the
list.
moment
It's
he's
on the
the
wish
show,
list.
I'm gonna be like, yoink.
We'll
You're
see.
my man now.
We'll see one day. But for now, if you want to, leave 10 comments, and we will one day do that. For now, though, salute you to thee. If you are in a if you're in a situationship, we pray for your the end of it, okay, or escaping it, or even better, making it officially a relationship if you can.
You know what? We dare you to either have the balls to ask for a relationship or have the balls to ask to just be friends.
Exactly.
We ask of you to do that right now. I will flash my titties for you if you do.
She is not lying. She will do it. I'm not lying, and she's not lying. So be sure to do that, and also click on a video, and we shall see you in the next episode.
Bye.